We're back with a part 2 showcasing your HomeKit smart home automations, and man, you guys, you did not disappoint. We got some good ones here today. Let's go. Yo, what's up guys? My name is Shane. If you're new here, and this channel is all about building an easy Apple home, smart home, with new videos published every Sunday and live streams every Wednesday. A couple of months ago, I did a video showcasing your smart home automations. You said you liked it and that we should do another one. So here we are, part 2. There were some great automations in that first one. I will put a link to that video down in the description below in case you missed it and want to check it out after we take a look at today's awesome automations submitted by you. Today's video is sponsored by Eve. If you're not familiar with Eve, definitely check them out. They make many of my favorite HomeKit smart home accessories, and they now have Matter out-of-the-box products shipping, including the Eve Energy Smart Plug, Eve Motion Sensor, and Eve Door and Window Sensor. Stick around to the end of this video because Eve was kind enough to provide us with some of these new Matter products to give away to you. Maybe you'll be one of the lucky winners, then you can create some awesome automations with these. And if you just can't wait, I have a 10% off discount code in the description below that'll save you on any of their products, including bundles. Big thanks to Eve for sponsoring today's video and for supporting the channel. All right, first automation today was sent by James from the UK. James has automated his baby changing table. James said he was previously using a vibration sensor, which worked well enough, but recently updated the automation to use a pressure sensor instead after watching a video here on the channel where we did just that. He simply put a pressure sensor underneath the changing mat, along with some extra padding to improve the reliability of the automation. He chose to wire his pressure sensor to a Shelly i4 DC. He says it's really easy to set up. I have not used any of these myself, but now I gotta admit, I'm dying to try this out also. His automation simply turns on a smart light bulb hanging over the changing pad, then turns off after a short period with no pressure on the mat. Awesome automation, very creative using a pressure sensor there. There's so many cool things I think you can really do with a pressure sensor that's working in HomeKit. Now, one thing I've long been a fan of is using colored lights and automations as sort of visual cues for different things. Turn lights to a certain color if a gate is left open, you know, things like that. Well, Dr. Cole shared his home office setup that uses this concept, as well as some other nice automations. At the beginning of his day, he runs a scene that sets the accessories in his home office the way he likes it for working and unlocks his Schlage lock. It also sets a light outside the office to green to let people know he's there and working and whether or not it's okay to come in. Inside, he has a one-link smoke and CO sensor that mimics the state of the light outside, so he knows what status it's in. He also has a VocalLink air purifier, a humidifier, and a Sensibo AC unit, and all of these are regulated by an Eve room sensor on his desk. And when it's time to make an important phone call, he can simply press a little flick button that's on his desk that will change the color code to red, lock the door, and turn down the fans on the AC, the air purifier, and the humidifier. That way it's not too loud for his phone calls and meetings. Really nice stuff. Thank you for that submission. Anyone else notice that little wall-mounted iPad running the Home app there in the office? Nice touch, Dr. Cole. Next up, we have a very creative automation from a longtime channel member, Brad. Brad's running Homebridge on a Raspberry Pi. You can see everything he has neatly organized in his little utility room. He also uses the Signals for HomeKit app, which allows him to run shortcuts on an always-on Mac. On his porch, he has a delivery box with an Aqara door sensor on it. When that door sensor is opened, it triggers a shortcut that runs on his always-on MacBook Pro, again via the Signals for HomeKit app. So this shortcut immediately sends a text message notification and grabs a snapshot via a LAN URL from his cameras and uploads it to Dropbox. Then the shortcut grabs that Dropbox link and texts it to him and his wife. On their phones, they get the text message notification followed by a Dropbox link. They can preview the link right there or click on it to go to Dropbox and view the full resolution image. Super creative. He also has his dumb doorbell tied into HomeKit thanks to some GPIO pins on his Raspberry Pi. Similarly, when his old doorbell is pressed, it triggers two shortcuts to run via the Signals app. that send a text message and grab snapshots from 2 different cameras. This time it uploads them to Dropbox and then texts those image URLs to their phones. Very creative solution. This is an amazing use of the Signals for HomeKit app on a Mac, being used to automate personal shortcuts with HomeKit. I love that. I made a whole video about this when this feature was first released. I'll put a link to that below in the description. Great job, Brad, and thanks for sending us that awesome automation. Also, if you guys want to support this channel even further, like Brad, who's been an active member in our community for quite a long time, hit that join button below. For under $5 a month, you can support the channel, but also get access to some cool perks like our monthly member video chats on Zoom and our member Discord server. Brad first shared this automation and some other great ideas over there on our Discord server. We have sections there for HomeKit questions, automations, all the different product categories, and even a HomeKit showcase section where you can show off some of your HomeKit setup. Shout out to Brad and all of the amazing members that support this channel every month. You guys rock. All right, moving on. Mohammed submitted an automation that I was really impressed with. He has a Bosch coffee machine connected to HomeKit through Homebridge. The problem he faced is that he couldn't make his coffee on the go or automatically in the morning, since the machine needs to clean itself each time it starts up. This means he couldn't place a cup, under there the night before, so it would be ready for the next morning. So here was his solution. This is awesome. He's using a towel hanger on the coffee machine and added a SwitchBot curtain to move the cup. Magnets are glued to the SwitchBot and the plate, so he can still remove the plate for easy cleaning. How freaking cool is this? I think this is hands down the most creative use of a SwitchBot curtain that I've seen so far. Absolutely love it. Peter from Poland has a cool automation that triggers when his front gate is open. After 15 seconds, the light turns on in the garage area. Then after another 30 seconds, the lights in his garden area turn on. And 2 minutes after the gate closes, all the lights turn off. He is using a 4-channel Sonoff with firmware to support HomeKit for automating the gate and the lights. And then using the convert to shortcut, after the gate is open, is able to use those wait actions to get the timing perfect for him, to get out of his car and into his house. So really cool. He took it a step further with an automation that is triggered if the lights don't automatically turn off and are on for over 10 minutes for whatever reason. In the event the lights don't turn off, he'll get a push notification alerting him that the lights are still on again after 10 minutes using the Pushcuts app. Keyshawn had an issue where him and his roommate would constantly fight about the temperature of the thermostat, their Ecobee thermostat, during the wintertime. So he came up with a great solution. So he's using motion-based triggers in HomeKit, Homebridge for a couple of dummy switches, and again that Ecobee thermostat. When his roommate leaves, his dummy switch turns off and the Ecobee is set to 73 because Keyshawn is the only one that's home. If Keyshawn then leaves, his dummy switch is turned off and the thermostat will then drop down to 65 because no one is home. Then if his roommate returns home, his dummy switch will come back on and the thermostat is set back to his preferred 71. And when Keyshawn returns home, as you'd expect, his dummy switch turns back on and the thermostat is then set to their compromised temperature of 72 since they're both back home. Keyshawn says this works flawlessly and has ended their arguing over the thermostat. I love his creative use of dummy switches here to determine, who is home and who is not. I think this is one that I might definitely start to utilize in my house. Good job, Keyshawn. Rob has set up an automation that runs as a part of his morning routine that I really like. So every day he eats oatmeal for breakfast and likes to use a tea kettle to warm up the water, for his oatmeal. He has this plugged into a smart plug that supports HomeKit. Instead of using a traditional HomeKit scene that you have to trigger manually or, yell at Siri or something like that, he's using an Aqara vibration sensor attached to the back of his medicine cabinet. When vibration is detected in the morning between a certain time, it will turn on the tea kettle via that smart plug. Now by the time he's out in the kitchen, the water is ready to go and he can enjoy that oatmeal. A door sensor would probably also work really well for something like this, but I just love the idea of using these little sensors to trigger other HomeKit accessories or scenes automatically throughout your day. Good stuff. KD, another channel member, has a really great automation doing some pretty advanced stuff here. This is triggered by her alarm in the morning time. So she likes to have music playing after the alarm goes off to start the day, and she's actually using a combination of AppleScripts and shortcuts to customize the experience and allow her to basically pick the music she wants based on her mood when she wakes up. Really cool. When a wake up alarm is stopped, it will trigger a shortcut presenting her with a menu. The menu options are connected to AppleScripts that live on her Mac Mini home server, which is connected via HDMI to the living room TV. She uses the run script over SSH shortcut, and the AppleScript will then start on the Mac Mini, opening the browser, bringing it to the front, and putting the live video in full screen. Then another shortcut runs starting up the TV, which is connected via Homebridge, then switches the HDMI port to the Mac Mini and putting the volume at a specific level. And if she feels like listening to her own music library, there is also an option to select My Music, which will again fire up another AppleScript via SSH and load the music app on the Mac Mini, as well as open up the remote iTunes app on her phone so she can select whatever music she wants, and she's playing her music and everything through that Mac Mini computer. All this is done before she even gets out of bed. Really cool stuff, and a great example of the power you can have when you start getting into AppleScripts running on a computer. Kevin has created a home jukebox that hangs on the wall of his living room. This consists of 50 NFC business-sized cards with album art taped to each one. When he taps on a card, a new playlist plays on the stereo pair of HomePods in his living room. Really cool. Kevin says he's always wanted a jukebox since the 80s, and thanks to the NFC tags and Siri shortcuts, it has become a reality. He's been using this DIY jukebox for the past 2 years. Really cool stuff. I love this idea. Thank you, Kevin, for sharing. Blaise from Quebec, Canada has a really unique automation to share. He explains that his house is in a small village and he has his own septic tank. The sewage pipe between the house and the septic tank has jammed twice in the past 10 years or so, leaving them in a really messy situation. Not fun at all, I'm sure. So he's been able to use smart home automations to make sure this never happens again. He has access to his sewage pipe in the corner of his wood workshop. He designed and built this impressive contraption that uses an Aqara leak sensor attached to some stainless steel rods that sit at the top of his sewage pipe. If the sewage pipe fills up, it will trigger the Aqara leak sensor, which then triggers his automation. His HomePods in the house will sound off with a looping alert message notifying everyone that there has been a problem with the sewage system. Then a water shutoff valve turns off the main water to the house, in turn stopping the problem before it actually becomes a real problem. He also gets multiple alerts on his phone to ensure that this problem does not go unnoticed. Incredible stuff here, Blaise. Great job, and thank you for sharing that with us. And that leads us to this next automation submitted by Ron while we're on the topic of sewage. So Ron shared with us a code brown automation. Yep, you heard that right. Let me explain. Ron has a 9-year-old son that is nonverbal and uses a communication device to speak. And that's the reason he started down this whole smart home path to begin with, which I think is really cool. Ron says his son can use the bathroom by himself but lacks the fine motor skills for the wiping part. And there have been many times where they didn't know, that he needed help, which ended in some not so pleasant results. To solve this, Ron installed Aqara buttons in their bathrooms that his son can push to alert them that he needs assistance. The button is programmed to send a push cut notification to both him and his wife, which they have, yes, you guessed it, called Code Brown. I do think it's awesome that he's bringing a little humor to this situation. He has different notifications which tells them which bathroom button was pushed, and just in case they don't have their phones on them, he also included an audio notification on the HomePods as well.
Code brown alert. I repeat, there is a code brown in progress in the hall bathroom.
So Ron's able to utilize the new intercom shortcut action introduced in iOS 16.4 for this, and as you may know, this feature is not accessible in HomeKit automations, but only personal automations or shortcuts. So Ron is using a push-cut server to run the shortcut and send the announcement to all of the HomePods in the house. This is another example of someone using smart home automations to really solve a problem and improve quality of life. I think this is awesome. Great job, and thank you for sharing that, Ron. Alex submitted a few cool automations. One that turns on his back patio lights at night when the door is locked. This is a simple one. This is a level lock automated with a Wemo switch to control the pergola lights. Really simple, but also really nice. Anyone can do this. He also has an automation that when he arms his alarm system, which is a Ring system integrated into HomeKit through Home Assistant, it will automatically lock his doors. And one last one that Alex submitted shows him controlling his sleep number bed with a Pico remote. Again, both exposed to HomeKit via Home Assistant. I'm not sure if you can do this with HomeBridge or not. I know you can with the Picos. I'm not sure about the sleep number, but this automation allows him to raise and lower the bed to any preset that he chooses. That's pretty awesome. Todd lives in Pennsylvania with cold winter mornings. He is using an OnStar plugin via HomeBridge to automate remote starting of his car on cold mornings before he goes to work. This is great since he doesn't have a garage. He has 2 time-based automations that will trigger the car to start, letting it run for a total of 20 minutes so that it's, all thawed out by the time he's ready to leave for work. So this is really cool, pretty simple, since he has this HomeBridge plugin, which I think is awesome to integrate your vehicle into HomeKit, but just 2 automations at a certain time starts the car. Really cool. You guys have really outdone yourselves. Some of these automations are just truly incredible. Many of you are utilizing HomeBridge, shortcuts, apps like PushCuts and the Signals app, even AppleScripts to really extend the functionality of your HomeKit smart homes. Really amazing, and just really shows the true power and capability that is possible with HomeKit. Now, I do real quickly want to encourage you though, if you're fairly new to HomeKit or smart homes and a lot of this stuff just seems impossible, overwhelming, over your head, don't fret. You can do so much with HomeKit using very simple automations, and you can certainly start small. Be sure to subscribe because that is something that we discuss a lot here on the channel. I do like to keep things super simple and easy in my smart home, but sometimes it's fun to push the limits a little bit, and seeing what's possible by watching others like we've done today can be really fun and inspiring. All right, enough of me rambling. We have a giveaway to do. Again, thanks to Eve. Their new Matter products are now available, so I'll have links to all of those down below if you want to check them out or get some for yourself. But there is a chance to win an Eve Energy Smart Plug, an Eve Motion Sensor, and an Eve Door and Window Sensor. 2 lucky people will win all 3 of these. These do all support Matter and could be great accessories for your next big smart home automation. Entering is easy. Just follow me and Eve over on Instagram and tag one friend in the giveaway post that's on Instagram right now. Super easy. I put links and instructions, all that stuff that you need down below in the description. Also, I'll pin a comment down below with the information as well. We'll pick winners in about a week over on Instagram. Thanks again to Eve for doing this giveaway and for sponsoring today's video. Big thanks to everyone that submitted automations for today's video. This was really fun. Drop a comment below and let me know what your favorite automation from today was. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you like this, and let me know, should we do a part 3? Subscribe, turn on notifications for new HomeKit videos and live streams every week. If you want to check out that last viewer automation video, you can hit that link right over here to take you there. And over here is actually my shortcuts and automations YouTube playlist. Might give you some more ideas for those automations. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.